Everybody, welcome back and thank you for being here. I'm Yumble, and today we get to build the the Turbine Interchange. Today we get to build the Turbine Interchange, cannot wait. It does have some similar elements to the Clover Stack. The ramps that go around the outside are very similar, and the fact that it's only 2 levels high is very similar. A lot of people talk about a full stack being a good interchange, and it is, but at 4 levels high, that's a lot of ramps. It's very expensive. This is a much more possibly economic solution if you have the space for it. If you're here because you enjoy discussion of interchanges or intersections or just city skylines in general, feel free to subscribe. I try to make a few videos a week and the support really means a lot. Thank you. Without further ado, here is the Turbine Interchange. Before we get into the actual build, we have to kind of identify what makes up the turbine and where to begin. So this is what we're looking at. This is a turbine interchange in Jacksonville, Florida, I believe. And you'll see that the through traffic has their normal straight through highway. That's fine. The left turns are all done on these really satisfying ramps, basically. These very satisfying flyovers that eventually end going underneath themselves. What I see when I look at this are 4 180-degree turns. So that is easily measured in city skylines. So I always like to find a good, recognizable spot. It also looks like those left turns are not dead center, right? If they were dead center, it would look like a giant circle in the middle, but you can see they're all offset from one another. So what we're looking at, if you take this example here, this semicircle in the bottom left, it's starting somewhere that's not quite 45 degrees off of the center. So it's starting some distance out and then a little bit over. And then it's going around and it's ending much closer and a little further this way as well. So they are all offset slightly, but all we have to know is that it's a semicircle, it's offset, there's 4 of them, easy peasy. So let's take what we learned from looking at that picture. I'm going to select our highway ramp, I'm going to turn on anarchy, turn off node snapping. This is all in the mod Fine Road Tools and Fine Road Anarchy. So that's all there. We're going to start dead center. You'll have to measure out the dead center of your overpasses, right? Dead center, 45 degrees, because that's where the origin of these semicircles are always going to be. And I'm going to go some distance out on one side. One side just has to be further out than the other. Change the numbers however you want, but just know kind of the pattern for how to modulate those variables. Ugh, listen to me. 42 units is what I've chosen for the larger side. And then for the end of the loop, let's do 24. That seems like it'll yield nice results. I've tried a bunch of different numbers and combinations. I haven't tried this specific one, but to prove my point, you can kind of eyeball things and it turns out okay. So this is neither the starting point nor the end point of this, but it is an anchor point to measure from. 66 units. So the quarter turns on this are going to be 33 units long, meaning we're going to use the curved road tool in just a second. But wait, there's more. We also have to change this by some amount. So we have to go over by maybe 4 units or so. Nice. And that will change things substantially going the whole way around. But let's do this. This is our new starting point. And what we're going to do is take half of the amount of that total length, and it's going to be 33, like we measured. We're going to go 33 units around the whole thing using precision engineering. Turn off road guidelines if necessary, if it's trying to snap to something that's not correct. 33 units. 1, 2, 3. Nice. That is our first turn on the whole thing. This was just a guide. We can get rid of it, and I'm going to get rid of that little tail as well. Gone. So that is the first of our ramps, of our left turn ramps. Let me replicate that same thing on all other sides. So I'm going to do that same pattern 3 more times. Very cool. This is exactly what we need. It's those 4 180-degree turns, all kind of interlocked next to each other, but not crossing just yet. Love that. So let's find the end point for our left-hand turns. That's a good next step. So what I'm going to do now is measure out Using the freeform road tool and that same highway ramp, I'm just going to kind of see where's a good angle, you know? Probably about under this ramp. In the picture we were looking at for reference from Jacksonville, Florida, it hits basically under the second ramp. So I'd be curious to see how that looks. I'd also be curious to see how the nodes work out here. That's not bad. That's also not bad. Let's see how this all looks. I may change where these nodes hit later, but for now, just for looking. Yeah, I'll probably have to elevate this section as well, but that's okay. You've probably noticed that this thing is very large. You'd be correct. But that is typical of system interchanges. I've found that the scale of interchanges that people build in City Skylines is often very small. Like if you're trying to build to scale, more often than not, people build smaller than is realistic. Let's put it that way, which is fine. But today I'm trying to go the whole way out. Nice. So 44 units away from the center. I've measured the center points on this ramp. That's about where I want this to end. So I've marked it there just for accuracy, and freeform road tool, and we got it. Very nice. So that's a good starting point. I'm going to measure this point on all sides and get that left turn connection done before we handle the rest of it. Well, I dare say that was a massive success. So the left turns are pretty much installed, but let's get our other ramps done right. So we're going to use road guidelines for this. And I'm just going to go a couple units away from this end. So 2 units. And this will be the end of the right turn for this direction. So I'm going to pick some amount going this way. I like a 26 there. Maybe about there. That looks like a nice, gentle angle to merge back with the highway. And I'm going to make a marking there because I like it. And this is also where the other side is going to connect. So by connecting these two, I've also marked where this right turn will depart. The right and left turn actually will both depart onto this side. I'm going to add this on all sides with the magic of video editing. I'll be right back when it's done. So now we're starting to get an idea of the scale of this thing, now that we see the extent of the beginning and end of the ramps, right? It's enormous. But it makes a great centerpiece for a map, or a great centerpiece for your highway system. Once again, not a downtown interchange. Would not put this downtown, takes up too much space. System interchanges are best reserved for the outskirts of town where highways must connect. Unless you want to do that, unless you want to... I mean, it's up to you. It's your city, man. You know, whatever's good. So, for this part, I'm going to go 8 units back from this. Your measurements may vary, once again, but this puts us right at the other end of this semicircle. And it makes it so we'll have an even curve on both sides going back to the highway. So just like that, now we've made the identical curve on both sides of the highway, and we can actually reconnect this road to the other side of that 8-unit segment. Of course, this is all backwards. I'll turn it around in just a minute. But that gives us a nice little split here so that our right turning traffic can continue to the right, our left turning traffic can diverge from the original plan. I may end up making this a 2-unit road to make that a bit nicer, but the idea is there. Let me go around and we'll add that ramp on all sides. I just want to share the secret for a pretty highway split in City Skylines. So we're gonna take this example here. Like I said, I want to upgrade this ramp to 2 lanes because traffic can get in the correct lane before the turn hits, if you know what I mean, before the split happens. So we'll have them depart. This will go down to 2 lanes probably as well. I'm fine with that, using 2 lanes as a minimum for the interchange or for the highway. That's cool. But 3 lanes down to 2, 1 departing. We'll have this one branch into 2. And then at this point here, it looks a bit funky, so we can take Node Controller. Here's the magic. Take Node Controller, click it. If you're using Node Controller Renewal, hit Shift and select the end that you want to realign to the 2-lane road. Shift-click, realign the ends. Very nice. I'm going to make this as small as I can. It looks weird, but that's okay. Hit Make Ends Straight, That'll clean up this side. And then I'm going to extend the yellow side out to like maybe 20. Yeah, 20 looks good. And then, of course, if you want to be real cool about it, take intersection marking tool. Different mod, same creator. Look at this. Splitsville. I have video tutorials about this mod if you want to know exactly what I'm doing. But very quickly... Boom. That is a realistic highway split, I would say. Looks pretty comfortable. There's a bit of a curve there, but that's okay. It's going to look really good zoomed out, and traffic will work fine on it. I think that's a real good way to go. Let me set that up on all sides, then we'll... I'll probably adjust all the lane math as well. So this is 3, starting at 3, going down to 2. Let's take a look at that. Down to 2. Yep, whatever. Cool. All the way across, and then here we have this merge, so it goes back up to 3. I'm cool with that. And I will use node controller on this to kind of fix it up. I'll realign this entire road against that 3-lane width, and that's fine. So 2 plus 1 up to 3, but then 3 plus 1, uh-oh. So we're actually going to have to go up to 4 at the end of this thing. Did I sound surprised? I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Oh my goodness, and we're at the edge of... That's funny. This thing is huge. It's huge. But like I said, it can make a great centerpiece for your map. It looks cool. That's all there is to it. It looks cool. So what I said about realigning this, if I wanted to realign all of these lanes against the 3-lane road, just align it there, then do the same thing here, and just kind of push that alignment back along the entire thing. And there we go. I'm cool with that. And with that, that changed the angle of this one, so now maybe we want this ramp to be aligned against that, so it's a bit smoother. I'm cool with that. Make it smaller, make ends straight, and then decide on the red one, like how long. Maybe 10 meters is nice there. That'll make for a real nice merge once we've got all the markings in place. Give me just a moment, I'm going to do the lane math, which is the same on all sides, and I'll be back when it's all pretty. A good thing to do for realism and looks and appearance and all that jazz is to have the pillars centered in between the roads. If there is space there, that's not a bad place for a pillar. So a good way to do that, you can see the node did not hit the center. And that's okay. It's mathematically improbable unless you plan using max segment length and the length of the curve and the whole thing. That's a lot of work. What I'd rather do is turn off collision, turn on anarchy, and build a road straight off the end here. So 90 degrees off that overpass. Boom. And I'm going to do that for that second overpass as well. And as long as collision is turned off, I can delete that temporary road, and we got pillars the whole way down. Really good stuff. So on all sides, I'm going to have pillars dead center here. The next step after that is going to be getting the heights right. I think that came out pretty good. Considering the scale of this thing, I think I kind of nailed it compared to this Jackson, Florida example. So we've done it. Get out of here. It's completely free-flowing, so there's no semblance of a backup. I've let this run for 10 minutes, and I'll let it run for 10 minutes more, 20 minutes. It's gonna flow traffic no matter what. That's what makes it such a great system interchange. There is zero conflict. It's shorter than a stack. It's only 2 levels high, which is nice. Though you do need a large landmass to fit this thing. Certainly not a downtown interchange. This is for the outskirts of your city, without a doubt. So the heights of this, here's what I did. Plus 5 meters and negative 5 meters is kind of the base here. I just wanted to split the difference. So there's the map height of 0 meters. So this goes down to negative 5, positive 5 to get that spacing to fit trucks underneath. On the low side, I just did plus 5, minus 5, plus 5, minus 5, same over there. On this side, because the road going into the overpass in the center is neutral, it's just at 0, this has to be plus 10 to keep that same spacing. So these are plus 10 meters on the high sides, right? I call the trench the low side and the overpass the high side. And once I got all the heights right, I went around with Network Multi-Tool and hit set slope mode. And with that, it's pretty simple. You click the high side, like click a high point on it and then click a lower point and then hit enter. I already did it here, but you can see it goes down 1.5% in grade to get to this point, to get down to this point. But yeah, a lot of sloping, a lot of heights. That's basically it. I'm probably going to beautify this for the thumbnail and all that. Hopefully the beginning, hopefully the the cinematics look okay. I haven't added any flowers yet, but the Turbine is a beautiful interchange. It is a feat of engineering. It's only 2 levels high, takes up a ton of space, but it moves a ton of traffic, and that is the point. And there you have it, the Turbine Interchange. I really hope it went well, because at the time of recording, I've not actually figured out how to build it yet for recording this bit. So yeah, I hope I did okay. If you feel I did, feel free to subscribe. I make a couple videos a week. I also stream on Twitch a couple times a week, so feel free to follow over there. Of course, we have a Discord community too. Feel free to join up if you want to have some discussion in the meantime. That's all I've got. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I've been Yumble. I'll see you in the next stream or the next video.